Welcome back, everyone. We're continuing our discussion and consideration of molecular modeling. So now in your report sheet, I'd like you to find page 11. We're looking at number 5. It says consider 2,3-dimethylpentane. So before we look at the model for it, let's figure out what 2,3-dimethylpentane even is. So first we look at sort of the ending of the name, and it says pentane. Pentane, remember, means 5 carbons in a chain. So what I did here, I started with structure because that's the first thing your report asks for. So what I did is I drew 5 carbons in a row. Now I drew them in the horizontal way, but remember the bond angle here will not be conductive for giving a straight line. We'll talk about bond angles next. Anyway, 5 carbons in a row, so that's pentane. But then we have to address the beginning of the name, which says 2,3-dimethyl. So this is the second carbon. I've numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the second carbon, this is the third carbon. So I have a methyl group off of the second carbon here, and then I have another methyl group off of the third carbon over here. And then I place hydrogen around each carbon in order to satisfy the requirement where each carbon must have 4 bonds total. And of course each hydrogen has only 1 bond off of it. So this is the structure where everything is shown in great detail. Next one, you're going to have to show the structural formula. And in order to distinguish between structure and structural formula, you'll need to look in the body of the handout. They go over all these various ways of representing organic molecules. Now let's take a look at the model. So what did I do here? This is not a complete model yet. I just wanted you to show this. So what I did is I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons, and I put them in a chain, and you can see it's really not linear, it's not in a straight line. All these carbons have only single bonds, so all these carbons have sp3 hybridization of their orbitals, which allows them to have 4 bonds in a tetrahedral shape. And so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are terminal carbons, so each carbon has 3 hydrogens attached on the end, and then these carbons in the middle, you'll notice this carbon here has 2 hydrogens, but this carbon here and this carbon here, these two, you can see hopefully they only have 1 hydrogen each. Why is that? And what's wrong with this structure right now? Well, it's incomplete. That's what's wrong with it. Why is it incomplete? Well, something's missing. This is just my 5 carbons in a row with hydrogens attached. So I have 5 carbons, I have hydrogens around them, but what am I missing? I'm missing this methyl here off of the second carbon, and I'm missing this methyl here off of the third carbon. Well, guess what? Conveniently enough, I have my methyls already prepared. So there's 1 methyl here, and there's another methyl here. We just need to place them in appropriate positions. It would be easy to do because I just need to basically look for empty holes and place them where there is a room for a bond. So there is 1 empty hole right here, so I'm going to go ahead and attach my methyl right there. And then there is another hole right here, and so my other methyl will go right there. And now we can take a look at the entire molecule. I'm going to set it down so my hands are not obstructing your view. So what do we see? We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. This is the second carbon. If we start counting here, and off of the second carbon there is a methyl. And then this is the third carbon right here, and there's another methyl off of the third carbon. So what would be the full, complete, correct name for this particular structure? Well, it would be 2, 3 dimethyl, because there are 2 methyls, pentane, because there's 5 carbons in the chain, in the longest chain here. So this is the model for 2,3-dimethyl pentane. I'm going to turn it around slowly so you can kind of get a look from all angles. So if I hold it like this, I wanted to point out that one might say, wait a second, if I count from here, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it would, might it be called 3,4-dimethyl pentane? And the answer is no. Remember what I told you earlier. Nomenclature for organic compounds demands that when you're numbering the carbons off of which you have substituents, like these methyls over here, the name must contain the numbers that are the smallest possible. So 3, 4 would not work. 1, 2, 2, 3 dimethyl is the correct name. So we're done with this one. And what I wanted to point out is you have to draw various types of structure or formulas for this one. Here I decided to help you out and show you how a condensed formula might be written.